So no one told me that weaning my baby in my late 30s could feel like falling off this hormonal cliff. Combining any stage of perimenopause with postpartum weaning can create this perfect storm of hormonal shifts that can intensify symptoms both of weaning and perimenopause. Because both life stages involve this significant change between cortisol and other hormones too. And if you're in your late 30s while you're weaning your baby, you are going to get a lot out of this video. You will understand the biochemical shifts so that instead of being in your anxiety and depression, you can now look at it from an elevated perspective. And my prayer for you in this video is that it's one of compassion and complete clarity and understanding. And if you stay till the end, you will get 5 key nutrients to stabilize your nervous system so that you can just say goodbye forever to that sleeplessness, the anxiety, depression, overstimulation, and hello to more ease and contentment at such a tender phase of life. If you're new here, I'm Omega. I'm a women's hormone health coach and the creator of the NASM approved hormone health certification program for personal trainers. I make hormone-focused educational videos for personal trainers and future hormone coaches, cycle syncing workout videos, and hormone health and fitness nutrition videos so that you can feel educated and empowered in your hormone health journey. Links to all those playlists can be found in the description. And if you're curious to work with me, you can go to the link below and fill out an application form. Before we get into everything, subscribe and tap the bell, especially if you're navigating motherhood, you're on your hormone balance journey, you're navigating weaning and perimenopause, what this video is about. Because none of us should go through this part alone or without information. And so a little bit about my story. My most annoying symptom was not the weaning. My cat, she's kind of annoying too, but I love her. Was not the depression or the anxiety or not even the overstimulation, but my key symptom was waking in the middle of the night for like 2 to 3 hours every night for 3 months. It's much better now, which is why I can make this video, but on top of the anxiety and depression, this made things just so much worse. When my therapist told me about weaning and the connection to oxytocin and the drop that happens, everything started to make sense. And I'll discuss in this video but there are essentially the hormonal fallouts that happen at these stages of life. And when I could finally see beyond my emotional state and go to see within the chemistry, I could finally see myself not as broken, but as someone who was just going through these massive biochemical changes. And that shift in perspective helped me crawl out of one of the darkest emotional times of my life. And that is why I'm making this video for you. So let's get into the meat and potatoes, shall we? The oxytocin and prolactin drop. When you reduce breastfeeding sessions, your prolactin and oxytocin, the bonding and calm hormone, plummets. Oxytocin regulates mood and the stress response. So that drop alone can feel like a loss of emotional stability. A quick Google search actually led me to this. The hormonal shifts during weaning affect dopamine and other mood-regulating neurotransmitters. The absence of the usual oxytocin-dopamine interactions can disrupt the brain's reward and motivation pathways, contributing to the emotional vulnerability and potential mood swings experienced by the mother. In some women, a significant and abrupt drop in dopamine during this period may result in acute negative emotional states similar to withdrawal symptoms from an anti-anxiety medication. Yeah, that's a lot. The weaning journey for me has not been sudden. Maybe it has for you, maybe it hasn't. But we were around, my daughter and I were around 2 to 3 sessions a day. When we were there, the hormonal drop-off felt way more dramatic. And before I knew about this drop-off, I felt like my literal whole world was crumbling. Now layer that oxytocin drop with the hormonal changes that happen in your late 30s, which is the quiet decrescendo of progesterone, which is very common. And I do talk about that in this video. Progesterone naturally starts to decline as you enter perimenopause. And something to note is that there is not one test to confirm that you're in perimenopause. You and your doctor need to actually take subjective intake and lab tests to see where you're at in perimenopause. So when progesterone starts to quietly decline, this alone can feel like your world is ending. Can't have you making biscuits with sharp claws, Ferguson. So, cat hair. In your luteal phase, the 2 weeks of every month, if you're not making enough progesterone, you could have more cyclical anxiety or depression and even more nighttime waking. Hello, that's me. Are you experiencing any of these shifts as you start to wean? If so, please share your experience in the comments. You're not alone in these changes, and it's important for other people to know that they're not alone as well. So if the oxytocin drop from weaning and the decline of progesterone isn't enough, then couple it with estrogen's wild roller coaster in perimenopause. This can cause those pain-causing prostaglandins in your luteal phase, like cramps, bloating, headaches, breast tenderness, all those fun PMS symptoms. The last biochemical shift I want to share is the inevitable shift in cortisol levels as we become mothers. With the reduction or cessation of the nipple stimulation during weaning, prolactin and oxytocin levels drop and cortisol levels rise. Add sleep deprivation and toddler chaos, and your nervous system lives in high alert mode. Cortisol blocks your ability to sufficiently make optimal levels of other hormones. That is why you may feel like you're running on fumes emotionally and mentally. So before you go today, I want to give you some practical tools, those 5 key nutrients that you can implement today to calm anxiety and depression, get better sleep, and reduce PMS at this super tender time in life. These things really helped me, and I hope they help you too. Number 1, do not enter perimenopause or your weaning journey depleted. While you probably took a prenatal, it's important to continue loading up on key nutrition like omega-3s and vitamin D. These 2 nutrients alone are like food for your nervous system. While I take a supplement, you can also get these from things like chia seeds, wild-caught salmon, or pasture-raised eggs. 2 more vitamins are key for reducing mood-oriented PMS. Any guesses? These are commonly talked about in the research, but likely missing from your social feed. And that is there's actually 3. Calcium, magnesium, and B vitamins. These 3 alone are very well researched to reduce cyclical anxiety and depression in the luteal phase. Supplements alone shouldn't be your only strategy to get these nutrients because they do not have the cofactors for you to properly absorb the nutrition. So what I recommend is getting these 5 key nutrients from food. And if you want to make that super easy, I break down all the key hormones in the cyclical nutrition guide and grocery list. And you can get that for only $27 using the code PERI. That's PERI. And you can get the cyclical grocery list and recipe guide for only $27. If this video hit home for you, let me know in the comments below. This is such a tender time in life, and the women who came before us never experienced it because they were having babies in their 20s. If you want to go even deeper, I offer personalized hormone health consultations where we unpack your symptoms, pinpoint your perimenopause stage, and create a support plan for your next chapter. You can book a session through the link below. I'd love to help you feel like yourself again. And if you found this video helpful, please like this video. It helps more moms find this message. Subscribe for more education and check out the next video on the screen. It's the early signs of perimenopause that you might be missing.